What happens when YouTube royalty steps into the ring with wrestling royalty? What happens when a social media superstar collides with the most dominant force in WWE history? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wrestling vs. CC, where today we're breaking down one of the most talked about moments in recent WWE history, the night Roman Reigns absolutely destroyed Logan Paul. And trust me, when I say destroyed, I mean it in every sense of the word. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we bring you the most comprehensive wrestling analysis on YouTube. And for my day ones, you already know we're about to dive deep into this one. Let's acknowledge our tribal chief. Before we get into the destruction, let's set the stage. Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, has been on an unprecedented run of dominance that has lasted over 1,200 days. This isn't just any champion. This is the champion. The head of the table. The tribal chief. A man who has systematically dismantled every challenger placed before him. Now enter Logan Paul. And I've got to give credit where credit is due. Logan came into WWE as a celebrity, sure, but he showed up ready to work. He trained hard, delivered impressive performances at WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and earned a level of respect that most celebrity crossovers never achieve. The man is athletic, charismatic, and brought legitimate star power to WWE programming. But here's the thing about respect in professional wrestling. It only gets you so far when you're standing across the ring from a generational talent who's been perfecting his craft for over 2 decades. Logan Paul brought the hype, the followers, the mainstream attention. Roman Reigns brought something far more dangerous, an unrelenting desire to prove that his throne cannot be touched by anyone, celebrity or otherwise. The confrontation between these two didn't happen overnight. The WWE creative team did something brilliant here. They built this feud on the foundation of respect mixed with inevitable conflict. Logan Paul, to his credit, didn't immediately go after Roman's title. He watched, he learned, he picked his spots. But in the world of WWE, especially in Roman's world, staying silent only works for so long. The tension began building when Logan made comments about being the biggest star in the building whenever he showed up. And look, from a social media standpoint, from a mainstream recognition standpoint, he wasn't entirely wrong. The man has millions upon millions of followers across every platform imaginable. But Roman Reigns is the WWE. He is the star power when that bell rings. The verbal exchanges started getting more personal. Logan would reference his success outside wrestling, his business ventures, his influence. Roman would respond with what matters most in this industry: dominance between the ropes, championship gold, and the ability to back up every single word with action. The bloodline started circling Logan Paul like sharks smelling blood in the water. Solo Sikoa with those intense stares. The Usos making it clear that nobody disrespects the tribal chief. Paul Heyman with his perfectly crafted promos explaining why Logan was making a career-ending mistake. The point of no return came when Logan Paul did something either incredibly brave or incredibly foolish, depending on your perspective. He looked Roman Reigns dead in the eyes and said those fateful words, "I want your championship." The arena erupted. Social media exploded. The wrestling world collectively gasped because we all knew what was coming. Roman didn't even look surprised. He just smiled that knowing smile and said, "You're not ready for this." When the match was officially announced, the promotional machine went into overdrive. WWE knew they had something special here, a legitimate draw with Logan Paul's mainstream appeal combined with Roman's established dominance. The video packages were cinematic. The social media engagement was off the charts. This wasn't just another title defense for Roman, this was a statement opportunity. Logan Paul, to his credit, took the preparation seriously. Videos emerged of him training with legitimate wrestlers, studying Roman's moveset, working on his conditioning. He brought in coaches, film study became his obsession, and he made it clear through every interview that he wasn't treating this as a celebrity appearance, he was treating this as the biggest fight of his life. But here's what made this so fascinating from a storytelling perspective: the WWE universe was split. You had Logan's fans, many of whom don't regularly watch wrestling, tuning in specifically to support their guy. You had traditional wrestling fans excited to see Roman remind everyone why he's called the tribal chief. And you had everyone in between, genuinely curious about whether Logan Paul's athleticism and celebrity status could create the impossible upset. The press conferences were must-see television. Logan would speak about revolutionizing wrestling, bringing new audiences, proving that dedication beats tradition. Roman would calmly, methodically dismantle every argument with the confidence of someone who has defeated everyone from John Cena to Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman's promos during this build were absolute gold, painting Logan as a talented outsider who fundamentally misunderstood what it means to stand across from greatness. Now let's get to the moment we're all here for, the actual match. The atmosphere was electric. Logan Paul's entrance was a spectacle, as expected. Lights, production value, pure showmanship. He looked confident, focused, ready. Then Roman's music hit. That familiar, ominous theme that signals domination. The tribal chief emerged with Paul Heyman, the undisputed championship around his waist, and that look in his eyes that every opponent dreads. The bell rang, and for the opening minutes, Logan Paul actually held his own. This surprised people. He used his speed advantage, his unorthodox style, throwing strikes and creating offense that Roman had to respect. The crowd was invested, social media was going crazy, and for a brief moment, some people wondered if an upset might actually be possible. That's when Roman Reigns decided it was time to go to work. The shift was noticeable. Roman's demeanor changed. The measured, calculating approach transformed into something more aggressive, more personal. A massive clothesline nearly took Logan's head off. An uppercut sent him staggering into the corner. The Superman punch came out of nowhere, connecting with devastating impact that echoed throughout the arena. Logan went down, and suddenly, the confidence started draining from his face. What happened next was a masterclass in professional wrestling dominance. Roman didn't just want to win, he wanted to send a message. Every move was delivered with extra force. Every strike was designed to hurt. The drive-by kick on the outside was vicious. The powerbomb through the announce table was executed with such authority that the crowd collectively winced. This wasn't wrestling entertainment anymore. This was a veteran champion putting an ambitious challenger in his place. Logan Paul showed heart, I'll give him that. He kicked out of moves that have finished other opponents. He fought back with everything he had, landing some impressive offensive sequences that got the crowd behind him. But here's the reality. Heart and athleticism can only take you so far when you're facing someone who has been dismantling the best in the world for years. The finishing sequence was both brutal and beautiful in its execution. Logan Paul went for his signature move, giving everything he had left in the tank. Roman caught him midair, transitioned seamlessly into position, and delivered a spear that could have broken Logan in half. The impact was sickening. Logan's body crumpled to the mat. The referee counted. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, it was over. But wait. Roman Reigns wasn't finished. That's the thing about the tribal chief when he feels disrespected, winning isn't enough. He needs to make a statement. As Logan Paul lay on the canvas, Roman stood over him, title raised high, that familiar pose of dominance that has become iconic. Paul Heyman proclaimed to the world that this is what happens when anyone dares challenge the head of the table. The bloodline entered the ring, circling Logan Paul like predators. For a moment, it looked like the assault might continue. Solo Sikoa cracked his knuckles. The intensity in the arena was palpable. But Roman simply raised his hand, stopping them. He had made his point. Logan Paul had been conquered, destroyed, and exposed as not being on Roman's level. No further punishment was necessary. As Roman's music played and he walked up the ramp, championship held high, the camera caught Logan Paul being helped to his feet by officials. The contrast was stark. The tribal chief walking away victorious and untouched, while the challenger had to be assisted from the ring. This visual perfectly encapsulated the dominance we had just witnessed. The aftermath of this match was fascinating to watch unfold. Social media erupted with reactions from both wrestling fans and Logan Paul's followers. Many of Logan's fans who had never watched wrestling before were stunned by the physicality, by the storytelling, by how legitimate the performance was from both competitors. Wrestling fans gained a new respect for Logan's willingness to take that level of punishment to put on a show. But the overwhelming narrative was clear. Roman Reigns had once again proven why he's the most dominant champion in WWE history. This wasn't just another title defense added to his record. This was a statement to anyone in WWE, in wrestling, in entertainment period. The throne belongs to the tribal chief, and no amount of fame, followers, or celebrity status changes that reality. Logan Paul addressed the loss with class, posting on social media about the experience, acknowledging Roman's greatness, and thanking WWE fans for their passion. This earned him significant respect from the wrestling community, who appreciated him not making excuses or diminishing what happened. He got in the ring with one of the greatest of all time and took his beating like a professional. Roman Reigns, in typical fashion, barely acknowledged the victory beyond acknowledging himself. That's the character. Victories over challengers are expected, not celebrated. He moved on to his next defense, his next challenge, because that's what champions do. The Bloodline continued their dominance across WWE programming, and the message was clear: nobody's level is high enough to reach the tribal chief. From a wrestling analysis perspective, this match served multiple purposes brilliantly. For Roman Reigns, it was another chapter in his legendary title reign, another name added to the list of conquered challengers. It reinforced his position at the absolute top of WWE's hierarchy and demonstrated that celebrity status means nothing when you're defending against the tribal chief. For Logan Paul, this match, despite the loss, was actually a significant moment in his wrestling journey. He showed he could hang in a main event level match with the company's top star. He took a beating and kept fighting. He proved that his previous performances weren't flukes and that he genuinely respects the business. The wrestling community's perception of Logan Paul shifted after this match. He went from being viewed as a celebrity playing wrestler to being recognized as someone who's willing to sacrifice his body to deliver for the fans. For WWE as a company, this match was a win-win scenario. They got mainstream attention from Logan's massive social media presence while simultaneously elevating Roman Reigns to even greater heights by having him dominate someone with such star power. The storytelling was compelling, the action delivered, and both the casual viewers and hardcore fans came away satisfied. The match also reinforced an important wrestling truth: there are levels to this business. Logan Paul is athletic, charismatic, and talented. But Roman Reigns is a once-in-a-generation performer who has spent decades perfecting his craft. The outcome was never really in doubt to anyone who understands professional wrestling at that elite level. So what did we learn from Roman Reigns destroying Logan Paul? We learned that the tribal chief's dominance knows no bounds. We learned that Logan Paul, despite the loss, has earned his place in conversations about successful celebrity crossovers in wrestling. We learned that WWE knows how to build and execute compelling storylines that appeal to multiple audiences simultaneously. But most importantly, we were reminded of why Roman Reigns is considered by many to be the greatest champion of this generation. His ability to make every match feel important, his psychological warfare, his physical dominance, and his character work are all operating at the highest possible level. Logan Paul brought everything he had: the athleticism, the star power, the determination, and it still wasn't enough. That's not a knock on Logan, it's a testament to Roman. As we look ahead in WWE, Roman's path continues toward legendary status. Each defense adds to his legacy. Each challenger conquered reinforces his position. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to acknowledge him, and that's exactly what he demands. What did you think of this match? Did Logan Paul exceed your expectations despite the loss? Is anyone ever going to dethrone Roman Reigns? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and love debating wrestling with you all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, it helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our wrestling analysis. We've got more content coming on the Tribal Chief's reign, breakdowns of upcoming matches, and deep dives into wrestling's biggest storylines. Share this video with your wrestling friends, your Logan Paul fan friends, anyone who appreciates great storytelling and athletic competition. And remember, we don't just watch wrestling here at Wrestling vs. CC, we analyze it, we celebrate it, and we acknowledge our tribal chief. Until next time, wrestling fans, stay passionate, stay respectful, and keep supporting this incredible business we all love. This is Wrestling vs. CC, signing off. Acknowledge him.